What's up again, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and this is going to be my thoughts on attending New York Comic Con 2011. What I saw that I really liked, what unfortunately is a little bit of a hassle, and then maybe some tips for people who are going to go to future conventions. Now that I've been to a couple, I feel that I have some knowledge that I'd like to help you with that will definitely help you if you were to go to a convention in the future, okay? So first of all, right off the bat, number one, the thing that I can give you a tip on is if you're going to go to a major convention like San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, anything where you know that this thing's going to be busy and packed, you have to get there super early, okay? You have to expect to be waiting in extremely long lines to do things. And if you want to attend a panel on a certain day, I recommend that you don't have anything else to do on that day. And I'm not exaggerating, so here's why I say this. John Rambo and I and OJ arrived at 10 a.m., almost on the dot, and the convention started at 10 a.m. Well, so did everyone else. And so literally it took us an hour to get through these lines to get into the building and into the Comic-Con. Now keep in mind, we already had our badges. We actually had... Where the hell is it? Right here. We already had, ahead of time, our badge. We paid for it and they mailed it to me, and this was our way in, but it didn't matter. They were basically like, first come, first serve. You got to come in and wait in a queue, and we let people in gradually into the con, and it took us an entire hour to get in there. And John was disappointed because actually he had wanted to attend a panel that was for the Green Lantern's new cartoon, which is coming out. And it was the premiere. They were going to show like the first episode and then talk about it. He couldn't make it. He couldn't even get into the building until 11. The panel was at 10:30. So the only people that really made it into that were the people who had been there, lined up hours ahead of time, and were at the very front of the line. They got in, okay? So that's my recommendation. The other thing is, if you're going to attend a panel, okay, you have to be super duper patient. You're going to wait in long ass lines, and you have to make sure that you've already done everything you wanted to do at the con so that you don't take up all your time. So for example, today we wanted to cover the entire convention, which we did, but at the same time we had interest in attending some of these panels, like the Avengers panel for the new Avengers movie, a Resident Evil panel where they were going to talk about Raccoon City, Operation Raccoon City, and one or two other panels. Well, we found out that to get in those panels, you have to wait at least an hour in line prior to the panel. Avengers, forget about it. Like literally 50% of the people who came to the convention today were there to see the Avengers panel, which there wasn't enough room. A lot of people got turned away. They were lined up like 5 hours early, not even exaggerating. So it's really hard to cover the entire con and see everything there while you also have to basically waste time waiting in line to get into a panel. So my recommendation is if you're going to do a con like this and you want to attend panels, go for 2 days so that on one day you can actually see everything on the convention floor, and the next day you can actually plan out the panels you want to see and wait in line and see those panels, okay? So that's my personal recommendations to you. A couple others. Bring water with you. Bring snacks with you, because these cons will rip you off. There were something like $6 hot dogs, $7 hamburgers, $5 sodas. Retarded prices at this convention. Luckily, I brought multiple bottles of water and things with me, so I only had to buy one soda during the entire day when I was a little bit tired and I needed like a rush of energy. So definitely bring drinks, bring snacks with you. It's going to benefit you. And then last but not least, I already showed you this, but I'll show it to you again because it's so cool. When you are dealing with artists, okay, at any convention, do not be afraid to haggle with them, okay? Even though there might be a price tag on a painting that you really want, more than likely, now this is 3 conventions this has happened to me, I've been able to haggle down the price significant amount. In fact, this particular painting that I got at New York Comic Con 2011 had a price tag that I actually haggled down to just above half of that original price tag when I bought it. So a lot of these guys, here's the thing, it's a hassle and a half to have to lug these paintings to and from these conventions. And imagine having to bring 14 of these to the convention and you end up going home with 13 of them. It's a pain in the fucking ass if you keep toting these around. So, especially when it starts to be like the end of the con. For example, today I approached this guy at like 7:15, and 7 o'clock was when the room was closing for artwork. I was able to kind of haggle with him and say, listen man, I will pay you cash, not credit, because remember, if you use credit cards, these guys actually take a hit. They actually have to pay a percentage to the credit card company. So I said, listen, man, I'll pay you this amount in cash right now, and I'll take that off your hands. And the guy, at first you could tell he was a little apprehensive because he had told me he had just finished painting this one. He didn't even have time to put like wire hanger to hang it on a wall or anything on it yet. And he really, I guess he figured, you know, this is one that's brand new. I'd like to kind of show it off because he really liked the quality of the artwork that he had done. But as soon as I said, I'll pay you in cash this amount, that was it. It was a done deal. So that's my advice to you. If you're looking for art, don't be afraid to haggle, but be smart about it. Give them a reason to want to sell the painting. They don't want to lug it to 100 conventions. So say, listen, I'm going to give you the cash rather than the credit. I'm going to give it to you right now. No, you know, we're not going to bullshit around. I'll take it off your hands, and most of the time they're probably going to go for it, okay? And you'll get a significant price off of whatever the price tag is on that painting. So those are my con tips, my convention tips from what I've learned over the past year attending several conventions. Alright, so now what I want to talk about are the things that we basically looked at or experienced during the con. And the first I want to talk about Capcom in particular. So Capcom had lots of games on display. Of course, their main focus was the fighters. So Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I did actually get a chance to play this game, which was a complete waste of time because I found out that the monitors they fucking had this running on were laggy monitors. I waited in line for like 25 minutes to play it. When I finally walked up there to play it, I go to play it, everything I do is massively delayed. And the guy who I played picked Hulk and Sentinel and just did super armor moves over and over, and of course I can't react to anything that's going on because it's so delayed, and he beat me, and I said, you know what, I don't even care. I just walked off. I was like happy to be off the stage and not be playing that fucking laggy ass bullshit. It's funny that Capcom wants to sell these games but then doesn't even get the proper equipment to display them at the conventions. But anyway, I digress. From what I saw, it looks like there are a couple changes to the game. Primarily the one change that I noticed was that it seems that a lot of the moves that used to be guaranteed off the ground hits afterwards need a little bit more precise timing to get them to work properly. And actually, if you don't do it with the precise timing needed, if you maybe delay a little bit, the characters have a means of escape. So for example, someone had Zero and he did a standard air combo to Hulk, ending with with S, which is the special or launcher button, which grounded Hulk. As soon as he landed, he went to do the off-the-ground super, delayed it a little bit, did the off-the-ground super. As he was doing it, Hulk rolled out of the way. And I said, wait a minute. Even in Marvel, original regular Marvel 3, even if you screw up the timing of the super, you don't roll out of the way, you just stand there and you get to block the super. In this case, the game is putting some new mechanic now, where if they don't hit you with the perfect timing for the off the ground, you can actually roll out of the way and completely avoid the attack. So that's something new for me, and I was like taken aback that I saw that. I was like, whoa, okay. But besides that, I'm not seeing much difference. Unfortunately, not many people picked the new characters, and when they did, no one knew what the hell they were doing. And in addition, like I said, the setups were laggy as fuck, so it really was no way to tell, you know, if these characters could be played in a better fashion. But it's going to be Marvel with newer characters and a couple tweaks. I reserve my judgment until I play it. I'm not like super optimistic about it after how badly the original Marvel 3 ended up turning out. And but I really hope that they did put in effort to make it a game that's not as easy to do these retardedly long 1 billion% combos. I hope the X Factor's toned down like they claimed it was going to be, but I guess we'll see. Street Fighter X Tekken. I didn't get to play this, but I watched several people play it. And from what I can tell, here are my first impressions. First of all, Tekken characters play absolutely nothing like their original Tekken counterparts. This game is not really Street Fighter X Tekken. It's Street Fighter 4 with Tekken characters in it, with some extras, okay? And so, from what I could tell, the Tekken characters, they jump like Street Fighter 4 characters, they attack like Street Fighter 4 characters, all their moves, I don't know because again I didn't get to play, but it looks like all their moves are even going to be like Street Fighter-like motions. It's not going to be like the Tekken like double taps or anything like that. They actually have given them all rounded motions and such to do their special moves, okay? The gameplay is a little peculiar, but maybe it's because the people who were playing didn't know exactly what they were doing. But it seems like every character has a chain combo a la Darkstalkers, or even, say, the Marvel vs. Capcom series, the older series, where you could dial a combo. I was seeing people with even Sagat, they were like jab, medium punch, fierce punch, and were able to finish it off with either a special move or the tag out move. Now the tag out move, what it seems to do in a combo is you can go 1, 2, 3 hits, tag out move, which is some special animation. You'll hit the guy, you'll jump out, your partner will jump in, and now be able to continue that combo. And so I saw a bunch of people do like a jump in attack, 1, 2, 3 chain combo, knockout move, next guy would come in, 1, 2, 3 special move, and it would finish the combo. So it looks like it's going to be a fast-paced game where you're able to go and switch between your characters for extended damage and extended combos. I don't know anything else outside of that. Even the super bar didn't even say levels on it, so it was hard to tell. Is there like level 3 supers or whatever? It was very confusing. But the gameplay, it looks like Street Fighter 4. It seems to play very similar to Street Fighter 4, and except for the fact that now it has chain combos, and but there are no, from what I can tell, there are no more focus attacks, which could change things a little bit from the Street Fighter 4 gameplay. But I guess we'll see. Out of the two games, definitely I'm more interested in Street Fighter X Tekken than I am in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, that's for sure. So, that's my opinion on Capcom Fighters. Now, outside of the Capcom Fighters, they also had Operation Raccoon City on display. And I had not been watching any footage of this game online or anything. I think this game's going to be really good. From what I can see, imagine you're playing like SOCOM, or you're playing, you know, one of these team-based third-person shooter, you know, over-the-shoulder third-person shooters, but now you're in Raccoon City, infested with zombies. You got the menial, trivial zombies coming after you. You've got giant, bigger, mini, you know, the stronger enemy zombies. I'm sure there's going to be mini bosses. Nemesis is going to be in the game. Mr. X is supposed to be in the game. So everything that was in Resident Evil 2 is being implemented into this kind of survival horror squad-based third-person shooter. And if you watch the footage that I took, I thought I was impressed. I thought it was pretty cool. The other thing is that your guys, whoever you pick, aren't normal humans. A lot of these guys have special abilities. So at one point, a zombie had jumped on this guy, but he was like a melee specialist. He said, fuck that. He just went bam, 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 and clawed the shit out of the zombie and was able to escape his clutches. And it was really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that one. That one is one that I'm really thinking is going to be a solid game. Another game I saw was Asura's, I'm not sure how to say it, Raft, which seems to be an interesting combination of almost like Devil May Cry, but it also has shooter elements in it, but it also has like quick time events, like almost like a Bayonetta. A really odd game. And the best thing I could say is if you haven't seen it yet, or you want to see the actual gameplay, watch the video that I made. It's almost the full demo, and it looks interesting. The art style is interesting, but it's hard to tell just from the demo if the game's going to be any good or not. That's my honest opinion. Other games that were there that we didn't record, Uncharted 3 was there, but it was only the multiplayer beta, which we already have played before, so there was no reason for them to even be there. It was pretty stupid. Everyone can get the multiplayer beta for free by getting a subway code, so I don't know why the hell they even had it there. And also, Assassin's Creed Revelations, here I was like, wow, they're going to debut the game, right? Nope, it's the same multiplayer beta that's available to everyone. So again, two games, they have potential to show off the campaigns of these games. They failed. They only showed the multiplayer that's already publicly available. I don't even know why these people were here, to be completely honest. I think they wasted their time. Let's see. Some other games. Prototype 2. Looks pretty sweet. Looks like they've expanded upon the formula from the original Prototype. I actually like the original Prototype. I'm kind of in the the minority in the category of Prototype. A lot of people said they didn't like it. I actually liked Prototype. What I'm hoping is that they took this 2 to 3 year period here to refine the engine, to stop slowdowns, to stop frame rate issues, to refine the combat, and to make it not as repetitive. I think that the reason Prototype honestly didn't do as well as it could have is because it was released relatively around the same time as Infamous. And I think a lot of people liked Infamous way more than Prototype because it had a better story, overall better graphics, better presentation. It had that shine and polish on it, while Prototype was an interesting gameplay-wise, but everything else kind of lacked a little bit. I hope that they put more effort in. At least from what I can see, it looks like it's going to be good. Batman Arkham City, I'm not even going to talk much about it because we were going to be playing it on Tuesday anyway. Of course, the game looks amazing. Graphics looked amazing. The gameplay looked great. We'll leave it at that. Final Fantasy 13-2. Looks like it's Final Fantasy 13 with an expansion on the campaign. It doesn't look like they've changed anything. The gameplay I saw, the combat looked identical to Final Fantasy 13. So it's probably going to be more of the same. That's just my guesstimate on that. Trying to think of any more games that I want to talk about. Oh, Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3, they had their first gameplay I've ever seen of it. No spoilers here. They didn't like reveal anything you didn't already know. Like, it was a party of you, Liara, and Garrus, who you already knew were in the game. And then Mortis is talking to you, but he's not a combat character at this time, so maybe he's just a supporting story character. We don't know. But, or Mortis or Morden. I always forget which. I think his name's Morden. The combat looks like typical Mass Effect 2 combat, but I did notice there may have been some improvements upon the close-range melee combat, because I did notice a guy got right up in Shepard's face, and you know, in the other Mass Effect games, the melee is kind of crappy. You go, ugh, and then you have to focus on shooting him to kill him. In this game, he was like, fuck that shit, and then he did some ability and blew the guy away and vaporized him, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty impressive. I think that what they've done is they've taken the weaknesses of the combat engine and they've focused on them and improved upon them. And if that is the case, I'm really excited to play Mass Effect 3. The game looks polished as hell. The graphics were blowing me away. Can't wait to get my hands on that game, that's for sure. Outside of that, was there anything else really that struck me? I was kind of disappointed in Rockstar, and here's why. Rockstar didn't allow you to record a damn fucking thing, while all the other game companies didn't give a shit. They were like, come in, see our games. We want you to record and talk about our games. Rockstar, again, with Machinima, they're the only company that's gone to Machinima and said, oh, don't show the story of our games. We don't want you to, doing that. Like, what the fuck? Why do they, number one, think that they're better than everyone else? And number two, why do they have to be so fucking secretive about their shit? So, unfortunately, they kept all their stuff inside of these closed theaters, and so you had to wait in a long-ass fucking line to see any footage of the Rockstar games. And John and I said, fuck this, we're not waiting. These games, Max Payne 3, it wasn't even gameplay, it was a trailer. And Grand Theft Auto 3 10-year anniversary edition, which apparently is coming out soon. It's the same fucking game. Like, who the fuck cares? And, like, they're treating it like it's some big hoopla. I did not give a crap. So, I'm a little disappointed in Rockstar that it looks like they're kind of being assholes about this stuff rather than being open and honest and letting people and the gameplay and the fans participate in the hype of these games. Sip of water here. And then the only other game I really want to mention is Zelda Skyward Sword. One thing I do want to say, whatever, build this was or whatever, the graphics looked really good for Wii graphics. The graphics almost look HD to me. Like, the detail and everything, it looked really sweet. So I have to say, in that regard, I was impressed. Where I wasn't impressed was the gameplay, because the gameplay demo that they had was you fighting the first boss of the game, and almost nobody could beat this fucking guy because the controls were so wonky. You would run up, oh, you're supposed to do a high slash, and they try to do a high slash, and he'd do a low slash instead. So, oh, fuck me. And then he would block it and parry and hit you, and it was just really frustrating. I watched 3 people try to beat this boss, and you could tell they kind of knew what they were doing. They could maneuver Link around, but they couldn't seem to control the slashing properly. It looked really frustrating, and it's just, again, why the fuck did they have to make it with motion controls? People don't want motion controls for hardcore games. We never asked for it. We never will ask for it. The people who bought your fucking Wiis for motion controls are people who wanted to play, Wii Tennis and Wii Bowling, and they never bought another fucking game for the system, which is why your software sales have now tanked, because there's no longevity in that system, and when you're abandoning it now. Just remember this. The Wii came out after the Xbox 360 and the PS3, and Nintendo has now abandoned it and have made their new Wii U system, while both the Xbox 360 and PS3 are going strong, and they have no plans on making new consoles anytime soon. They're still pushing the own hardware that they had, because they didn't sell those systems based off of a stupid motion control gimmick. So, people don't want these controls for hardcore games. Nintendo's still shoving them down their throat. John and I made the joke, why the fuck didn't they have Miyamoto here to do the demo? And I said, yeah, because if he were fighting this boss, he would try to slowly roll a bomb at him like he did last year at E3, and the bomb would blow up in his own crotch. So anyway, that's pretty much it for what I want to talk about gaming-wise. That we saw at Comic-Con. I mean, we did see other stuff. We saw DC and Marvel and such. One thing that I did like, a lot of new kinds of action figures, models and things, seems that are going to be released next year. They didn't have them there, but they all had like, oh, coming in 2012 release date. I was really impressed with a lot of them, and some of the prices too. You know, to be able to get a model that's like this big, you know, this wide, really detailed model, and it's like $100-something bucks. I mean, that's a great price. Some of these things that I've gotten here, unfortunately, have been way more expensive than that. And it's looking like maybe they're starting to realize that the common person can't just drop hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'm erupting again. On this kind of stuff, and they're trying to make it a little bit smaller, but at the same time a little bit more affordable to the common person, and I like seeing that, and I'm excited in a lot of the stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check out the videos. The videos that I have here cover everything that I saw at the con that I was interested in. So, alright, check it out. Hope you enjoyed the coverage of New York Comic Con 2011. The next convention we'll be at will be MagFest, which is happening the first week of January in Maryland. Check it out. The website is magfest.org. We will be there. We're going to have a table. OJ might be there selling some more merch, including his candles and things that he had at this event. We may be selling stuff. At the very least, we're going to be there and have a presence where you can find us. We're also looking to do a panel at this, discussing different things about YouTube and such, and maybe even announcing something really exciting, which I'm not going to get into because we haven't even started anything on it yet, and I don't want to jump the gun. But check it out, magfest.org. Alright, that's it. I'm fucking beat as hell. I gotta get these videos uploaded, and I'm going to sleep. So, I'll see you all later, and hope you enjoyed the footage. Stay frosty, my friends. Or as John Rambo says, stay ballsy, my friends.